Hello, nice to meet you. So my name is Ashini and today we're going to be learning about changing the subject in maths. Okay, so just roughly we're going to go through the learning objectives. So what we're going to do first, like I mentioned, is we're going to be learning about what we mean by changing the subject. Then we're going to try a few example questions. Then if we have even more time, we're going to try a few exam style questions. Yeah, so that's going to put everything we've learned today into practice. So this topic will come back and forth as you do maths throughout the years, because a lot of changing the subject will be used in other parts of maths as well, so other topics. Okay, so let's start off. Now, if you can see here, x equals 4y plus 3. So I've written an equation. In this equation, x is the subject. So I'm just going to write that out for you there. So here, x is the subject. Now the reason why x is the subject is because x is equal to an expression. In this example, the expression is 4y plus 3. So that's what we mean by changing the subject, the idea of getting a letter to equal an equation or an expression. So in the second one, 4 over 5 equals a is the subject. Both of these equations, we didn't have to change anything around. Already, the expression is equal to a letter, which is the subject. So that's what we mean, okay, by changing the subject. Now let's move on to a few examples, and do let me know if you get stuck at any point or if anything doesn't make sense, yeah? So let's look at question A. So 3x equals 15. Now in this one, there is no subject, like there is a letter, we have x, but x doesn't equal anything, so we need to change the subject. But the question is, make x the subject. Now the way we have to do that is we have to divide both sides by 3, because the x is not by itself. So to get the x by itself, we need to divide both sides by 3. And the reason being, the x is multiplied by 3, so we need to get rid of that. So the answer to this question would be x equals 15 divided by 3, which is 5. So we have made x the subject, x equals 5. Now let's try question B. In this question, y is the subject, but the examiner has clearly told us to make x the subject. So let's do this. What we first need to do is we need to get rid of the 17 to get the x by itself. Okay, so let's first do step by step. To get rid of the 17, on this side it's being added. So the opposite of adding is taking away. So we need to do take away 17 on both sides. So that will give us y minus 17 equals 10x. But we're not there yet because the x is still not by itself. So we need to divide both sides by 10. Because can you see it's being multiplied by 10. So we do the opposite to get rid of it. So the answer is y minus 17 all over 10 equals x. So that is your correct answer. Yeah, we've made x a subject. Now let's try question C. Same idea. We want to get 7x by itself, then get the x by itself. So we do both sides, we get rid of 3w. So 10p take away 3w because it's being added here equals 7x. But we want to get rid of the 7, so how do we do that? We divide the 7x by 7. So we would get x by itself, but the 7 goes below. So what I did here is instead of showing it to you step by step, I did it all in one step. Okay? Now this question D is a little challenging. We need to get x the subject. So we need an x by itself here. But what do we do to get from squared to just by itself? The opposite of square is square root. So that's what we do on both sides. We square root both sides. And that gives us square root of y equals x. Because x squared, when you square root an x squared, you get x. Okay? And last but not the least, our example question E. To get x by itself, you can see that 2 times x times y equals b. We need to get rid of the 2 and the y. We can't do take away because it's not being added, it's actually being multiplied. The opposite of multiplied is divide. So we divide both sides by 2y. Okay? So the answer is b over 2y equals x. That is your answer for question B. So I hope all that made sense. Now I'd give you a few minutes to just ask me any questions or anything you didn't understand before I let you try a few of your own questions. Okay? Good. So let's try an example question I've pulled out from the paper. So question 4. Here is a rectangle. You can see that the short side is length x, the long side is length 2x plus 1. P is the perimeter of the rectangle. Now you need to show the examiner that P equals 6x plus 2. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that. Okay, good. So 2 minutes are over. So now I'm going to show you and see if you got it right. So what you should have got, P equals 6x plus 2. You can see that this side is the same as this side, so this will also be 2x plus 1, and the small side, both of them are the same. So you need to show the examiner that the perimeter, so when you add all of these together, that should equal P. So I'm sure you've got that right. Okay? So that should be P is equal to x plus 2x plus 1 plus 2x plus 1. Yeah? So that is equal to 1, 2. So we're collecting like terms here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x plus 2. Now the 2 marks go for your working out, 1 mark, and 1 mark for your answer. So please be aware of that. You need to write your working out. Now, question B. This is where the change in the subject part comes in. You need to express x in terms of P. Same idea. There's just writing it in different words. So express x in terms of P means make x the subject. So we know P is equal to 6x plus 2. But we need the x by itself. So what do we do on both sides? Remember, we need to get rid of the 2 first. So do take away 2 on both sides to get P minus 2 equals 6x. Yeah? Then we're still not done because we don't have the x by itself. Finally, we need to divide both sides by 6. So we get x equals P minus 2 all over 6. That is your final answer. So well done. I still have a few more questions. So at this point, I would let the tutee try out a few more challenging questions as well. And I'll ask them if they need any help. And also, I will then wrap up and just let them know that we've completed the learning objectives and that I'm going to set a bit of homework on changing the subject. So again, a few exam questions depending on their age. And that would be the end of the lesson. So thank you very much.